So just laying the final touches upon this one. Bam! That was the perfect CV. Do you want to see how it's structured and how it's done? Welcome. Today we'll be talking about how to create the perfect CV. If you're interested to see how that looks, then stick with me. I'm Fredrik. I'm giving you my 25 years of successful worldwide experience in building businesses and people in these little videos. And today we will talk about how to structure the perfect CV. Are you ready? Let's go. Alright, so a CV to me, and if you haven't seen the first video about a CV, the 5 things that you should never do in a CV, then I'll link it here. Go take a look at this first because I'm sure it'll interest you. Back to the CV at hand. When you're writing a CV, you have to remember that the person you're writing this CV to doesn't know you. Don't know where you're from, what you're doing, what you have been doing, and what you want to do. These are one of the driving things that you need to remember when creating a CV. Today I'll show you an example, actually my own CV, which I made a year ago on request of our Human Resources department. I will tell you the structure of the CV, how it's divided into different parts. I will give you an example of the content, what I'm writing, why I'm writing in it. And then lastly, I will show you how I chose to design the CV. I think the design is extremely important as well. If you take a random 10, 15, 20 CVs, then you'll see they all look the same. Maybe there's a little color difference, but they all look the same. And you know, if you look the same, how do you stand out? I don't think you do at all. If you stay around that long, then at the end of this movie, I'll show you the program that I use how to create my CVs. So what I have here is the CV that I wrote. The design is quite different from any normal CVs that you've seen, and this is my style. And of course, when you look at my CV, just remember one thing. It's, to me, perfectly okay to steal with pride. Take the best elements, the best ideas that you get from this, reuse them, copy them, but don't copy it 100%. Don't make it look like a copy of my CV, because people, they will know it's a copy. Make it your style, but steal the best ideas from this with pride. More than welcome. All right, so the structure. The first page here is a brief introduction to who I am and what interests I have. I believe this is a key part of me as a person. It may not be a key part of you. My personality and the way that I work with people is one of my key assets. So I've chosen the introduction to be very much about this. First page in this structure is a brief hello from me. Because people, the reader, is impatient, I've chosen the second page to be what have I done, what have I achieved, key achievements. And then I'll give a timeline because people, they would like to know how long have I been in business, what kind of businesses have I been in, and how long did I stay in each line of business. And then after this, I want to show some key achievements. First, we have the timeline. After the timeline, I have highlighted some additional key achievements. And then we dive into each and every company that I've worked for since I started, which is quite a long list. In order to not make this too boring, I've added in a few numbers to show what I've been doing. And then at the end of the CV, I'm starting to state my education. I'm starting to state my key positions of trust, special things that I've been doing. The second last part of this structure is what is it that I want to do? What is my inspiration? And what is my expectation to my future employer? At the end of the document, how do you get in touch with me? Very brief, this was the structure. The first page, of course, the welcome, who am I? Selected key achievements, a timeline of what I've been doing, further achievements which I want to highlight. Then the structure is which companies have I worked for, what have I been doing there. And at the end, my education, my positions of trust, and how to contact me. Let me dive into it. The content of the front page here, I made it look like a magazine because I think that is cool. I haven't seen that done before. Very much my style, and I'm certain that this will make this CV stick out from everybody else's in the pile of CVs. As I said, I've chosen to be a little personal in the key introduction because I feel that is me, that is my key asset, working with people. This is my angle, you can do what you want, but the structure should be there. Then I go to the personal skills and expertise. And I'm trying to follow my own mind. What would I like to know if I was to meet a person? First, I'd like to know, who are you? Why should I talk to you? Second of all, what is it that you do? What is it that you can do? So this is what I'm following here. And I put in some keywords saying these are highlights from what I know that I'm good at. And again, short and sweet, this is just for the overview. This will grab the reader's attention and want him or her to read more. In order not to make everything too boring with just text and text and text, I've chosen to make a graphical timeline of my career, which has education on one side and my jobs on the other side, just for the overview. I've also color-coded it just to make it look a little bit more alive and dynamic. Here again, the reader, they've been interested in me as a person. They know that I know what I'm talking about, and now the reader would like to know, how did I get to know the things that I'm saying that I know? And this is the first proof of that, the timeline. After the timeline, and this is where when you are applying for a job at a specific company. This is where you want to take selected key achievements that are super relevant for that job and only that job. Because now you have established credibility. People, they think, oh, this guy, he knows what he's doing, he knows what he's talking about, but why is that relevant for me? Go watch the other movie. This is why you are relevant for the company where you seek employment. This is achievements that when the reader reads this, he or she can say, yeah, this I need that, I need this, oh wow, I need this as well, and I need this. Again, high level. Can you feel how we build up the structure? We build up the knowledge that the persons are getting about you. We build up the credibility, we build up the proof that what we're saying is actually true. And now it's time to go into deep diving. For each company that I worked for, I put in, this is what I did before, this is my titles, these are key responsibilities, key areas, and then again, major accomplishments. What was my job role, and what did I do in that job? This is what people, they want to read. They want to read more than just a line, overall responsibility. No, give them some information about what is it that you mean when you say this. That people get to know you more than just one single line. If this is a serious job seeker and a serious employer, then they will want to read this. Don't worry, they will want to read it. They can always move on if they don't want to read specific parts of it, but it should be there. I put in some key achievements, and again, just to break the boring text, and also to highlight some things that I'm very proud of. After the companies, the timeline, we move into my key positions of trust. What have I been entrusted with in terms of board memberships, etc. My education, and again, you've shown through your career that you know what you're doing, know what you're talking about. Now it's time to show that you also know how to read a book and take an exam. This comes here. At the end, as I said, you start saying, okay, so what is it that I want out of this company? Be specific towards that company. Don't be, I want to be part of this reputable company. No, I want to be part of you because this, and this is my personal aspiration. This is where I want to be. I want to be a CEO or whatever you want to be. Don't be shy about it. Say what you want. People, they want to see people. They have aspirations. But make sure the aspirations, they match what you write you can do and what you want to do in your CV. And the other thing is, what do you expect from the management of the company where you're applying for the job? This is important as well. Because when I'm hiring people, one of my first questions is, what do you expect from me as a leader? The answer to that question tells me a lot about the person. So that's why I included here, I want also to align expectations. I don't want a company to hire me if the leadership values doesn't match my leadership values. So this is a mutual beneficial information that I put. The last, of course, because I hope now the reader is so crazy to talk to me that the last page, this is how you get in touch with me. It takes a lot of time to make a CV like this, of course. This is also what shows your employer that you are serious, that you want this job, and that you know how to prepare seriously for any meeting. Think about this. Just jotting down the CV in a Word document in 1 hour. You know what? What does that say about you? Do you really take this serious? So now we've looked at the structure, and I've shown you how I would prefer to have the content in the CV. You're still here, so let me show you what I'm doing, and you saw a brief part of it in the beginning of this video. I'm using Adobe InDesign. You don't have to use Adobe InDesign at all. This is a program that I feel comfortable with. I've structured this CV in a kind of a book format, so you have the pages. So it's meant to, if you're looking at it on a computer, then you actually have the pages on the front page, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4 sit on the screen like this, so it looks like a book, so you get a better overview of the whole CV. You don't have to do this, of course. This is how I like to do it. If you don't know how to use InDesign, I'll show you how I make my white papers. I'm writing my white papers in Microsoft PowerPoint, which is much easier, and you can make exactly the same design as I'm doing here in PowerPoint. Let me show you. Here I have the future of personal insurance, which is a white paper I wrote half a year ago, and this is in PowerPoint. And here I basically take the text elements and I just put them in. It takes a little time again. Remember what I'm saying? If this is worth doing, it's worth doing well. If you're serious about your job search, you want to prepare for it. You don't want to waste your own time, and you for sure don't want to waste your employer's time. Make it worthwhile. Write all the text down that you want in any program, and after this, copy paste it into text boxes like this in Microsoft PowerPoint. I didn't even think you can do it in Word. I don't know how to do it in Word because I'm very used to working in PowerPoint. Think about the structure. Think about how you set up the pages so you actually make them worthwhile for the reader to read. Make it look interesting. When you have the content, when you have everything ready, this is the last finishing touch. This is where people, they say, wow, he's professional. I'd like to see him. He made that extra effort. This is what I think you should do. This is what I believe you should do if you want to have a chance of getting your CV even read. And if the content is fantastic, then that job interview is as good as yours. Then it's up to you to do the rest. I hope you enjoyed this, my CV. Give it a big like. If you did, if you're already a subscriber, thank you very much. Make sure that the little green bell is turned on so that you know whenever I make a new video. If you're not a subscriber, you better hurry up to subscribe so you'll follow me and be happy to see you again. Thank you very much and see you soon again.